Hey, it's Kaylee. We know all about the distributive property in combining like terms, but sometimes we have to deal with rational coefficients. So let's learn how to use rational coefficients today. So let's jump right in with an example. It says simplify the expression 3/4 all times x squared plus 4x minus 2x. So if we want to simplify it, the first thing we should do is just apply the distributive property. So we have a fraction here. This is our rational coefficient, right? Because it's a number and it's being multiplied by, some variables in here. So we can just distribute it across and that'll give us 3/4 times x squared plus 3/4 times 4x, and then we still have our minus 2x. Now, right off the bat, do we see any like terms here? Yeah, we do, right? Our second term and our third term. How come these are like terms? Because they have the same variable, x. But my first term also has the variable x. How come it's not a like term? Yeah, the power here is 2, whereas the power on these x's, these variables, is just a 1. So like terms have to be the same variable and the same power. So this one's not a like term. Now let's go ahead and see if we can simplify any of these terms. Can we simplify our first term? Nope, it's just going to stay the same, 3/4 times x squared plus this term. Can we do any simplifying? Yeah, right? If we multiply across, we're going to get 12x over 4, and this is just going to turn into a 3 minus 2x. Now, can we combine our like terms? 3x minus 2x is going to give us just an x, so we're left with 3/4 x squared plus x, and that's our answer. Okay, one more example together. Right off the bat, what do we do first? Yeah, we got to apply the distributive property, right? But hold up. What is this right here? It's a negative sign. So here we have a negative rational coefficient. But really all that means is when we distribute our fraction 4/6, we also distribute this negative sign. So let's go ahead and do it. We will get negative 4/6 times y to the third power plus negative 4/6 times 3x, and then we still have plus 2/3 y cubed, or y to the 3. So before we go any farther right now, let's take a second and see if we can simplify any of these fractions. See, we have rational coefficients in all of our terms, and let's simplify these fractions. So if we have negative 4/6, how can we simplify this? Yeah, we can divide top and bottom, the numerator and the denominator, both by 2. So I'll do it over here. If I have negative 4/6 and I divide the top by 2 and the bottom by 2, that will give me negative 2/3. So I can just replace this here for these negative 4/6. So I'm going to have negative 2/3 times y cubed plus negative 2/3 times 3x plus 2/3 y cubed. Alrighty, do we see any terms that we could simplify any further? Yeah, this one here, right? Negative 2/3 times 3x. How can we simplify that? That's going to give us, we multiply across the top, so negative 6/3 times x, and we could simplify this fraction to a negative 2. So our second term here is going to be negative 2x. Then over here, our first term is negative 2/3 y cubed. We can make this just a big minus sign, minus 2x plus 2/3 times y cubed. Okay, so now we're getting to the point where we actually have to combine like terms. Do we have any like terms here? Yeah, we do. Our first term is y cubed, and our last term is also y cubed. So if we add negative 2/3 times y cubed plus 2/3 times y cubed, these are just opposite coefficients, so these are actually just going to cancel out to 0, and we're left with just negative 2x as our answer. Great work! Before you practice on your own, let's do a quick recap on combining like terms with some crazy coefficients. First, we want to expand any terms we can, so we use the distributive property. Second, we want to check if we have any fractions and simplify them into their lowest form. And third, we can finally check for like terms and combine them. Okay, you're ready to practice on your own. Have fun and remember to always be clever. Hey.